Hello, welcome back to the Narconon and Scientology Chronicles channel. I'm Lucas Catton. And I wanted to share something today that honestly hit me a little hard the other day. Back when I was working with Narconon and was a Scientologist a long time ago, I had a good friend who worked at Narconon International. And because of the practice of disconnection that Scientology forces on its members, that then trickles down through Narconon, that Narconon then forces on its members, is people like me who become outspoken or critical of things that they've done that are wrong, and labeled as suppressive people, as I mentioned in my video of how I became an SP. They're forced to disconnect and no longer have any contact with. And over the years, a few times I've reached out to various people, many of whom have actually left themselves as well and have reached out to me as well. But there's a few hardcore members who were still left that I considered really good friends at the time, and I had hoped that one day they would make it out. And I found out that one of my good friends, Sue Birkenshaw, who worked at Narconon International a long time ago, worked at Narconon Boston, and she had passed away in September of 2018 of cancer. And I would send her texts every now and then and try and send her messages every now and then just to see if she was willing to have a conversation with me about some of the things. She was just so quick to disconnect like so many other people and never ask questions or never find out what really went on or anything like that because they were doing their Scientology duty. And it was a reminder of really how insidious it is, and there's stories of people who had to disconnect and then they lost loved ones who were even closer. This was a good friend for many years, but it wasn't a family member. But nonetheless, it struck me that, I didn't even know. And I felt bad for not knowing, and I felt bad for her. The post said that she had died of cancer, and as a high-level OT Scientologist, there's actually many of whom have died of cancer, whether they either failed to get appropriate treatment or maybe they did, but whatever the case, a lot of Scientologists from back in the day were heavy smokers, so that might be something. And I don't know the details of Sue's passing, but I do know that she was a good friend, and I'm sorry that she's gone. I'm sorry that we never got a chance to repair that relationship and have a conversation about that. And to sort of rub salt in the wound of not caring about people, Narconon International on their website today, narconon.org, still has Sue Birkenshaw listed as a writer on their editorial team nearly 2.5 years after her passing. So Abel, who has taken over the Narconon International functions and disbanded Narconon International, now that they get the money directly themselves, they are so calloused and uncaring about the people who work for them that they still have her listed 2.5 years after her passing as a writer for Narconon. And it just goes to show that if anybody within the organization thinks that you are special to them, not at all. I was a higher level executive in Narconon, did a lot of work for many of the facilities for a number of years. And, I was labeled a suppressive person, and overnight everybody told to disconnect from me. And then you have a high level OT who died of cancer, and they didn't do anything. In fact, they just left her on their website as if she were still around, because they actually don't care. So that's the truth. If anybody's actually interested, or if you think that somehow you are more special to them than anyone else, it's not the case, because what they care about is money. They care about converting people to Scientology. They convert about taking family members and ripping them apart, and friendships and ripping them apart, for anyone who speaks out against the abuses, the lies, the fraud, the other things that they've done. So I consider this a little tribute to Sue, and any other friends or family members who may have experienced similar things. My heart goes out to you, and whether it's Sue or someone else who has passed away as part of Scientology, and for those of us who are SPs and were never notified, that's par for the course. So that's all I got for today. Lots more stories coming, lots more news coming as well. Take care.